and it's another day, and I've got scruffy hair because I've had a hat on, but never mind. Well, today it's all about, it's a Sunday, and in England it's traditional to have a roast dinner on a Sunday. Not that I don't think many people do these days, but anyway, as I say, we always put meals and food before anything else, so work has to work around it. Anyway, I've already had the roast lamb on. This is what we're having today. Can you see that? I hope you can see that okay. So that's half a leg of lamb. And basically, oh, a bit of juice from my hand. What I basically did was put it in this, I hope you can see it, this baking tray here. I put it in, I put some lard in. It's a bit hard to say how much. A piece, probably about 2 inches by 3/4 of an inch thick. That went in. And then I put it in the oven at gas mark 4, and it's been in for 2.5 hours. I've just checked it with the temperature gauge just to make sure that it's at the correct temperature and okay. These I can highly recommend if you buy one of these things. You know, it takes the guesswork out of it. Brilliant, brilliant bit of kit. Normally I would perhaps have left that for another half an hour or so, but this is telling me that it was more than ready to eat. So, and they do have a, well, it's only one setting for lamb, but things like beef, you can get beef rare, beef medium, beef well done, and it has a setting for ham, veal, pork and poultry. Absolutely, just stick it in basically, let the needle go up, and if it's at the temperature what it's saying on here, then you know you're okay. If it's not, then you're best to wait longer. So anyway, so that's all done. We've got the juices now left with the what we're in with the meat. Now these juices need to go in two places for me to cook my dinner. I need to add a little bit into the saucepan where the gravy's going to go, because that will add flavour to the gravy. But also I need to put some into the halogen oven here, because this is where we're going to be doing our roast potatoes in. So let's pour a little out. So it's just come out of the oven, so it's still a bit warm. So we're just going to have a little bit, just a little, we don't need too much in there, little drop, but in here we do need quite a bit because we want the roast potatoes to have a good soaking. That's it. And then the other little drop can go there. So there we are, folks. Literally, I don't know if you can. I don't want to pour it out. there's a little drop in there. It's enough just to give it a very light covering, but that's all it needs to add the flavour to the gravy. And if you're wondering how much is in there, that's basically how much. I hope you can see that. Again, it basically covers the base of the halogen oven. So that's basically the first part, folks. I think I'll come back in a minute. Okay. Okay, folks. Let me just tell you what I'm going to be doing next while you don't see me on the camera. Well, I've taken the skin off the roast lamb, because my parents aren't so fond of that, but I just love it, I do. So that's all gone in my little belly. I've got the peas and carrots out for the veg, for the dinner, out the freezer. So that's all in some water, ready. I've added some water to that juices, what came out from the lamb. So that's all ready for the gravy. I've got the corn flour and the gravy powder out already. One thing what I did forget is the mug. I do like to be prepared. Then over here, which you can't see, I don't think you can see, I don't know where you can. just have a look. I always get a bit confused. No, you can't see it, it's off camera. I've got some potatoes out. Now, how it works in our household, we do more than enough potatoes, and then basically anything what's left over is then used as fried potatoes for either tea time or breakfast. So they'll get boiled. I'll see once I've peeled these, I'll have a good idea whether I'm going to be using them all as roast or whether I'm going to be leaving some as boiled. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, so if you can just imagine we just boiled potatoes. We always boil for half an hour to 3/4 of an hour, depending on the variety of potato, so they're nice and soft. Even when I say I'm doing parboiling, that's how long I do, half an hour. In the case of this dinner, I'm going to be parboiling the boiled potatoes. So first I'm going to peel them and slice them into pieces. Some of them are quite large, folks. There's my hand, and we've got 4 like that. So they'll be cut into maybe 4 or 6 pieces. Manageable pieces. With roast potatoes, you'll find that if you've got a flat edge, they always make better roast potatoes than if you leave them round, complete. So it's best to chop them in half. Don't know what the reasoning is, but that's what I found. It must be something to do with the juices get released or something or other, but I don't know. Maybe somebody else can explain that one, or maybe it's just my imagination. But there we are. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm going to do, and so I'm going to get on with the peeling the potatoes, and the timings I'm going to put in the description, but basically it's 2.5 hours to cook the meat. I tend to cook the meat beforehand because sometimes it might be 2.5, it could be 3. If I was doing a different joint, a big joint, it might be 5 hours if it was a turkey, or 6 hours, you know. So we tend to do it beforehand. This is how you develop, you find a pattern that suits you, and you're always evolving over time. So at present, I am just going to cook the meat beforehand, then I can just get on with the potatoes, the veg, the roast potatoes, Yorkshire pudding. I can do all that, and without worrying whether the meat's going to be ready or not, because I work to timings. So the meat's out of the way. So all I need to do now is peel the potatoes, and then I need to parboil them for half an hour, and then the ones what I want to make roast potatoes with, I will put them into the deep fat fryer. Can you see? Yeah, not deep fat fryer, sorry, the halogen oven. And they'll be cooked on for 30 minutes. Then I'll turn them over and cook for another 30 minutes. So at this point now, once the potatoes have been peeled, it's 1.5 hours until dinner is ready. Now, I've started early in the morning today, so all I'm going to do now is peel the potatoes, put them into a pan of cold water just to leave to soak. No reason behind that, it's just because I like to get things done beforehand. You know, I don't like to rush and having to do everything all at once. So I get those ready. And then I think we'll have dinner at 11 o'clock, so in an hour's time, at 9:30, I put the potatoes on to be boiled for half an hour. And then the ones what I want to take out of there will get put into there, and then I'll put it on for half an hour. But after 15 minutes, that's when I put the veg back on, because the veg takes 45 minutes in our household to cook, because my parents like it the traditional oldie worldy way, where they're nice and soft, not crunchy. I know some of my friends at allotment, they only have them on for 12 minutes or something, which is just not on for in our household. I know some of you might have these super duper appliances where you can cook quicker, so you need to be aware of that with your timings. But we're quite primitive. A lot of our stuff is dating back older than what I am, and I'm working. I haven't got the. I haven't had the social interaction with people to know what's in the kitchen these days. So this may all look strange to you, the way I do things. I don't know any better, because I've never really gone out for meals at people's houses and things. I don't know. So they are. We have to make do. Plus I haven't got the money to buy anything, so it goes on other things, you know, like the camcorders. Okay then folks, I'll be back later. Time to carve the meat up, folks. Oh, I just love that bit of love that bit. It's always a bit fiddly, lamb, folks, but it's worth it. I'm just cutting it today for my dad and I. You want a bit as well, don't you, Ducky? I don't know where you can see it. Can you? No, you can't see. We've got a little in there, lady, didn't we? Well folks, that's enough for both our plates. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to do all the fiddly stuff, I'm going to carve this all up, and that will give us enough meat for tomorrow. I'll wash my hands first though. It's really tasty. So we'll be back in a bit. Okay folks, it's come to that time now where I need to put the parboiled potatoes, been on for half an hour on boil, into the halogen oven. So we don't want to use the whole lot, so normally I just empty the water out and pour them in. But it's a bit more fiddly this time because we're not because we want to keep some back. So we'll just put that down there for a minute. So what I'm going to use is just this to get some potatoes out. Now when you put your potatoes in, before you actually put the halogen oven on, just give them a knock around so you get the juices all over them. It just makes them taste that much better. Right, so that needs washing. Put that over there. Need a bit more water because what I'm going to do is warm these up, these boiled potatoes, just before the dinner's ready, because they're almost ready but not quite. So they'll go on for 10 minutes before. And what I'm going to do now is put the kettle on, boil up a bit of water, add that to it. We'll leave it off for the time being, and then I'll put it back on in a little while. Dinner's in about 55 minutes. I could actually leave it on a very low temperature and the potatoes still won't fall apart, but I'm not going to risk it. We'll leave them off for half an hour. They'll be fine. Right, let's put this on. Close the lid. It's a good job I checked that, folks. For some reason or other the knob had moved round. I don't know why. It would have been on a very low temperature. In case you're wondering, it's on about 185 Celsius. It only gives that reading on here. Right, I'm going to put it on for 30 minutes. Here we are. Right, got some water. Okay, that's enough. Put the lid back on. Move it back into that place, and that's all ready to go back on. The veg will go on in 5 minutes, and what I must do now is get the gravy mix all prepared. Put the spoon out. So if you've not watched any of my videos before, folks, it's 2 tablespoons of corn flour. We're getting towards the end of the box there, so it's maybe a bit difficult to get it out. One in a bit. There we are, that's about right. Let's Still a little bit left in there. Stick that out of the way. And 2 tablespoons of this gravy powder, Bisto gravy powder. Give it a quick mix. It's all finished, might as well put it away. So that is it, folks. Let me pop down. That is it. It's as simple as that. It really, the most difficult part about doing something like this is timings. You've got to have a routine and be used to how you're going to cook everything. The one thing what I'm not going to bother today is the Yorkshire puddings. I'm going to leave that for another time. Or should I? You know, I might do it, we'll see. What I'll do is I'll switch off for now, folks. I'll have a quick think about it. And you might see me back for the Yorkshires. If not, you'll see me, the next time you'll see me is when it's all on the plate. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, folks, the potatoes have just stopped and we need to turn those over. I'm just getting my stuff prepared for the next part of the dinner. So what we've got to do is undo that. Fork out ready. And we're just going to swap them over now. Okay folks, that's 30 minutes and dinner will be ready to be served. The veg is boiling nicely, I'll turn that down. What I'm going to do is make some Yorkshire pudding mix. So what we need is 2 eggs. There's nothing in this bowl yet, so if these turn out to be bad, then it doesn't matter. Going to give them a quick whisk. I'm going to add some plain flour, 2 tablespoons, 8 tablespoons, that's all we need. This will make 4 Yorkshire puddings. I was going to say a pinch of salt, folks, but we've got no. I'm going to have to top the salt up. So it's a pinch of salt, so that's very little salt, so that'll do. Mix it all in. Just gotta shut the dog up, folks. Back in a minute. Sorry about that, folks. I'm back now. Right, so the next ingredient is some milk. So we're going to add some milk to this. Now on this bowl, I know it's got to be approximately 1¼ inches. That's 32mm deep. I think I've got that spot on. That's it, it's quite runny. Don't worry about that. Again, make sure you wash up as you go along, we won't be needing that again. Now, the next thing is your Yorkshire pudding dish. You've got to make sure that it's you're going to try and stop it from greasing over. So all I'm going to do is just add and get into it, a little bit of vegetable oil in each bit. You can use lard. That's alright. Get a bit of kitchen towel. And rub it all over. You can rub it around the sides as well to stop it. Oop. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, folks. I swore. Oh dear. I've got it all over my socks and my trousers. Never mind. And all over the floor. I have to have a quick tidy up. Right, before I forget, that needs to go straight in. At number 7 in the oven. Middle. Right, let's put that in the bin. Five minutes in the oven, folks, just to get it really hot. And then we put the mix in and then it stays in for 30 minutes. We might be about 5 minutes out of our timings, might go take 5 minutes after everything's ready, but we're not going to worry too much about that. And what we're going to do is now put the potatoes back on. Just let them simmer away at a low temperature. The gravy mix can now go in. Let's give that a stir. Yeah. Now, when you'll notice that from the original mix, what we add in the juices from the meat, and then we put the cold water in, it's gone a bit lumpy. Don't worry about that. Just pour your gravy mix in. while it's still reasonably cold, because I haven't put the hob on yet, I'm giving it a good stir. Okay, now I'm going to switch it on. This is a big hob, so the temperature can be down. I don't want it too hot. Oh, can you see the heat? Just look at that. Look at that sweat. Oh, God. Just look at that. Look at those potatoes. Just look at those. Oh. Potatoes. We've got the veg. We've got the gravy. We've got the Yorkshire puddings. I didn't look at the time, folks, but it feels like 5 minutes, doesn't it? So let's open the oven. Get this. .30 minutes, so that should be 20 past, folks. And what we got on there, we've got 20 minutes, so it's going to be 10 minutes after that finishes that the Yorkshires will be done. So I've done a little boo-boo with the timings because I wasn't going to do the Yorkshires, but never mind. You can always improvise. The fact is, in the time it takes to serve up, the Yorkshires will be about ready then. The Yorkshires are always the last thing to put on the plate. You need to get that fan on. It is so hot. I'm so sorry for the bad language earlier, folks. So they are, you've heard me swear, it doesn't happen very often. If there's any youngsters watching this, swearing, no, no, no. So I'm now going to continue mixing the gravy, stirring the gravy, and basically there's not really much else now to discuss, so you'll see it on the plate, folks. Okay, bye for now. Okay, folks, dinner's nearly ready. I just thought I'd show you a quick peep of what the Yorkshires look like before I actually start dishing up. folks, Yorkshire puddings. One of them's a bit lower because I didn't do quite enough mix. Just touched my skin on it then, that's why I pulled a face. Mind you, I pull faces all the time, don't I? Doesn't help with having the missing teeth. Right, that's it then, we're all ready. We're all ready. Right, I'll be back shortly. Okay folks, you can see that Dad's tucking in.
Eh?
You've got your dinner, it's Beardy Bill. He's not had a shave for a week. Never mind now. That's my mum's. Any guesses whose this one is, folks? So there it is. Now, unfortunately, the Yorkshire is actually stuck to the pan. Now, we're not quite sure why, whether the pan's on its way out, or if you've got any suggestions. Sometimes this happens, sometimes it doesn't. I know it could be heat related, but I don't know. I'm not sure what I've done wrong. But anyway, that's the finished dinner. I hope you've enjoyed the video, folks, and I'm going to enjoy eating it. Bye bye.